Welcome to Career Pro Tips by Life in the Green Room. Life in the Green Room is all about helping busy professionals who want more from their career. We provide action-oriented, tool-based plans that allow you to start navigating your career in the direction that you choose. Career Pro Tips is a weekly video series where we dive into something that's applicable right now, and we provide tactics, tools, and strategies that you can use right away to start taking ownership of your career. My name is Heather Green McGlynn, and I'm the Vice President of Marketing at a Fortune 500 company. I've used all of these tools I talk about, and I've seen my peers, colleagues, and team use them. I know they can help you start navigating your career. Today we're diving into episode number 22, which is all about influence versus direct reports. And so let me talk a little bit about that, what that means. But I have heard a complaint many times of saying, well, I can't get something done because those people don't report to me. Or the team is at a lull because everyone's in silos and nobody is working together. Or they have different agendas by their bosses that are competing and we can't get the work done. And I can keep going, but the point I want you to understand is that the complaint that I am deriving this episode from is there's a reason that I'm not getting my work done, and it is not that people aren't available or have the skill set, it's because they don't work for me. And I want to kind of debunk that myth and say, look, org structures are different all over the place, and an approach of saying the only way I can be effective is having everyone on my team is probably going to hinder you at some point in your career. People aren't going to be supportive of that. They don't like to change bosses all the time. There's going to be a lot of resistance to changing org structure, and to be honest, I want you to be careful about using that as an excuse. Having people that report to you and managing them, it's a big responsibility, and to do it well, it's a lot of work. You have to think about how you're developing them, how you challenge them, how you support them. I mean, there's a big effort that truly goes into that, so just be careful about using that excuse. And anyway, what I want to talk about today is what you can do to get things done when people don't work for you. There's two huge skills that are very worth your time to work on that will really help you get things done when you have a organization that's different. You can work on collaboration and you can work on negotiation and influence. And that's what we're going to talk about today. First, let's dive into collaboration. So collaboration, you're like, well, how hard is it? I just go work with somebody on the team. To be an effective collaborator is actually a skill that you can work on. It's not something you're born with and you have or you don't, but it is something that takes some effort to get really good at. So collaborating with somebody means, okay, I'm working with that individual or the team and I'm being very open-minded. I'm actually thinking, how can I find the best solution for the customer? Not how do I solve it the fastest or how do I get my way? Those are not attitudes that support collaboration. A couple of episodes ago, I really talked about how to get past an impasse at work, and there I focused on how do you find the common and shared goal. That's a great place to start if you're stuck on collaboration. So what's our common goal? How do we get there? And really do not think about it from a win-lose situation. Try to think about it from a win-win and think about, is there a solution that no one has proposed yet that actually might be the best? This is a skill that you can transfer to any job that you have. And so I encourage you to think about it, be creative, do some research on it if you want, and spend effort building up this skill set. The second skill set that I think is worth your time to get things done when people don't always work for you is negotiation or influence or persuasion or however you want to call it. And again, this skill is always going to be beneficial to you right now and at any job in your career. And so when you're thinking about that skill set, again, skill, not something you're born with or not, it's worth the work. I think sometimes people shy away from that because they hear negotiation and they're like, oh, that's for supply chain, that's not for me, that's not my skill set. There's a lot that you can do to improve in this area. So think about your audience, think about who you're going to be talking with, and think about how would be the best way to talk to them. So put yourself in their shoes. Think about, do they like data? Do they like big pictures? Do they like something first thing in the morning? Do they like it right in the afternoon because they're an afternoon person? What is their personality like? Just go through all of those types of scenarios and say, okay, so my natural style may not actually be talking very well to that person. So how can I adapt for this situation to try to communicate my side more clearly and more openly? Be prepared to try something and have to go back and readjust. That's no big deal. That's part of the process. But again, being able to adapt your style and increase your influence will help you over your career no matter what. So those are the things that I really want you to think about when you're trying to get things done when people are not directly reporting to you. Collaboration and influence. I can't wait to hear how you've used these tools, what's worked for you and what hasn't, and what other questions you have around getting things done at work. Leave me a comment below. Until next week, here's to owning your career journey.